I just want to say, I say that to say to get into just like, I feel like I have nothing to lose based off of the legacy being lost from lack of respect from who I chose to have a family with, if I gotta be totally honest. Now, this is very deep because I'm talking about this because hopefully this could help another father that's going through something similar. Because I'm not ashamed to say that I'm not a great father. I'm striving to be a great father. I know great fathers. I'm a pretty good father. But I've always tried to make myself present and do the best that I could with what I had. And sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes it's just never enough. As a parent in general, mothers too. You know, but I just wanted to say, I feel like I have nothing to lose because my legacy is already lost by way of the women who have a lack of respect for me through emotional trauma and things that they feel like I did to them that wasn't right, infidelity or all, but it all goes back to them treating me like property and possessing me and controlling me to do things that's not aligned with what's embedded in my DNA or being a living, liberated person. Not saying that cheating is right, but infidelity is wrong, you know, when you're in a monogamous relationship. However, I feel like if the man could take accountability for it, and he's a decent individual, and y'all made a life together, why not get over that emotional trauma and put the family structure first and build that up and build each other up instead of tearing each other down and devaluing each other in front of our children for them to see a dysfunctional family structure. And I feel like the legacy is lost, being that I had my next to oldest son and my youngest son with me in front of a woman who's calling me a deadbeat while I'm willingly present and there for my kids. And my son, he couldn't even take up for me. You know, he couldn't even take up for me. The only thing he could say is that's subjective, that's opinionated. Now, in that moment, that's when I knew my legacy was lost. I was making up time, and I was making up time and trying to reestablish a relationship with my son. And that showed me why that was so important, because my son he didn't even have an anger, or not even say anger, but he didn't even go in defense mode for me. It was kind of just like, well, that's your opinion, and you know, my dad is just being emasculated and in front of his sons, and that's just your opinion, and that's just how it goes. And I had to speak up and say, son, see, this is how black men are treated by their own women in society, but it doesn't mean that it's right. It's not, Chris. This is not right. This is not how family is supposed to look. I was the one who had to say that. Yet I'm the one whose legacy lost based off of because I didn't do what these women wanted me to do, or how they wanted me to do it. Or maybe I fell short in the years, and the grudge is still held by way of how they treat me now and look at me now. They're still holding a grudge from that emotional trauma, still stuck in an emotional traumatic space. Now, like I said, I'm gonna take accountability for everything that I've done up until this point for the relationship to be like that. Even for me making a conscious decision to create the reality of that for my kids, of a dysfunctional family, of a dysfunctional household. Because I'm not in the household, because I chose my happiness over being confined in a relationship that I know that I wouldn't be happy, even though I would be an in-home father, is what they call it. I didn't feel like it was worth my happiness, because I would much rather my kids see me be respected. I would much rather my kids see me be respected and acknowledged and be taught to acknowledge their father. My kids don't even acknowledge me a lot of the times when I come in at their games or in the house. Sometimes my kids don't even acknowledge it. I don't know if other fathers are going through this, but sometimes my kids don't even acknowledge me. Some of them, they don't even acknowledge me. It's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, just taking it for granted. They don't really understand. They never been taught to revere or to look at their father as an important factor in their life based off of the emotional trauma from the mother. But if we would have understood that the family structure is the most important thing to keep together, regardless of how our relationship with, it wouldn't be like that. Because now it's just all my fault because I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a father. Yet I know fathers who never did nothing as a father who get more respect than me. I think it's much more detrimental for my kids to see me be disrespected than it is for me to be in their life while being disrespected by their mother. It's much more dangerous to continue to be emasculated by disrespect in parenthood, and your kids seeing that, getting that in their subconscious mind, like their dad really ain't shit. Look how she's talking to him. Look what's happening. Look at their dialogue between each other. Than it is for me to stick around occupying space, trying to be in their life while seeing me get emasculated as a man. What is that teaching them? So the true firm masculinity should never tolerate and be around such things. So you have to totally separate yourself from that until things cool down or they come to some realization of that I can't disrespect God. Regardless of the fact, I made a decision, this is the head of my household, this is my child's father. I'm not gonna never talk to him like that. He don't talk to me like that. I have nothing to lose. I can honestly say I did mostly all I could. I can honestly say that I did all I could as a father with what I had and with the decisions that I made. I know I created realities for myself that wasn't the best, and I fell short in a lot of ways as a father. I can honestly take accountability and admit that. But I never stopped striving. I never stopped trying. I never just left and turned my back. There was always an option to bring the family together no matter what. Regardless of the infidelity, regardless of the emotions, regardless of why would men go where they're embraced? Why would a man go into a rowdy, rude, obnoxious, disrespectful baby mother's house where they know they're not going to get respected based off of old things that she's holding on to? Why would we go into that environment? It's not healthy. Got nothing to lose.